Episode 56 megawatts December 11, 2023. Make a better mousetrap, in this case a PM2.5 trap. A near neighbor-centered approach. It ain't no use to sit and wonder why, if you don't know by now. The first line of this lovely song by Bob Dylan sums up the usual attitude of the near neighbor of an outdoor residential wood burner who just doesn't understand why his or her wood smoke is harming near neighbors, causing near neighbors to become ill and have shorter lives, and in the process, hastening climate change. The rest of Bob Dylan's song lyrics cannot be connected to indoor residential wood burning, as most song lyrics are not useful for precisely describing societal problems unless they are protest songs written directly for that purpose. Asking why is a natural human response, if a bystander has the time and the idle curiosity. Inquiring minds want to know, and bystanders usually do not act to help others unless bystanders have a stake in solving a problem. Why would a parent lock a child in a hot car in the summer for up to, say, 6 hours? Why would a dog owner leave a dog chained outside in the winter in sub-zero temperatures for up to, say, 6 hours? Why would an indoor residential wood burner emit particulate matter that reaches a near neighbor's yard and sickens them, for up to, say, 6 hours? Answering the question why, in those instances, only wastes everyone's time, which may be the reason that an indoor residential wood burner would like everyone's time to be wasted asking why, so that the near neighbor and bystanders don't have time to ask how to solve the problem. Asking why is not needed if there are ways of measuring the probable harm that occurs in real time over 6 hours, before the child dies in a locked hot car, before the dog dies frozen and unnoticed in its owner's privacy fenced yard, or before the near neighbor of an indoor residential wood burner goes outside to shovel snow and suffers a heart attack after exerting himself at the same time he is breathing in the PM2.5 from wood burning, particulate matter of 2.5 micrometer size, the perfect size to infiltrate the human lung, setting off a cascade of human health problems and early deaths. In more concealable, but detectable with monitoring, ways to harm other human beings, why would a person speed their car through a residential neighborhood? Why would a person drive drunk through a residential neighborhood? Why would an indoor residential wood burner emit particulate matter that reaches a near neighbor's yard and sickens them, for up to, say, 6 hours a day, routinely? Asking why could be done after a police speed trap or a police officer with a radar gun detects that the motorist is driving over the speed limit, stops the speeder and gives him or her a ticket or a large fine if this is repeated speeding. Asking why could be done after a police officer administers a breathalyzer test to detect that the motorist is driving drunk, stops the motorist from continuing to drive drunk and gives him or her a ticket or a large fine or a jail term if this is repeated drunk driving. Asking why could be done after a health inspector, in response to a complaint by the near neighbor, shuts down the indoor residential wood stove and removes it from the premises of the indoor residential wood burner. That is a rational solution to the problem of harm to the near neighbor, just as stopping the speeder from continuing to speed and stopping the drunk driver from continuing to drive drunk. But you still want to know why? The most obvious reason why a motorist drives drunk is that the motorist is a helpless alcoholic, addicted to alcohol. There is a solution to alcohol addiction, which is a drunk tank, followed by alcohol rehabilitation, a halfway house, years of counseling and or an alcohol anonymous buddy to call in the middle of the night when cravings for alcohol rule the addict's life, and threaten the lives of near neighbors when a drunk in the neighborhood gets behind the wheel. There are not such obvious reasons why a parent would lock their child in a hot car in the middle of summer, when we all know, from many highly publicized news stories, that leaving a child alone in a locked hot car often leads to a child's death. The parent is neglectful, the parent is too young for the responsibility of a child, the parent is often, according to the news stories, going into a bar to get drunk, the parent is angry, busy, overloaded with responsibilities, the parent is in the middle of a divorce and so does not have a second parent to turn the child over to, the parent has to go to work and has no babysitter. We could speculate about why, but there are many avenues that lead to this tragic decision and tragic outcome. If a child dies, the parent may be charged with neglect, and the parent may receive counseling to discover why the parent has allowed this to happen to their child, or has done this to their child. There are also not obvious reasons why a dog owner would neglect a dog by leaving it outside in sub-zero conditions that lead to the death of the dog. There are also not obvious reasons why a motorist who had passed his driving tests would speed through a residential neighborhood. A police officer giving out a speeding ticket would take into consideration if the speeding was a repeat offense or not when deciding on the amount of the speeding fine. If traffic school was imposed on the speeder, there might be counseling sessions or group discussions exploring why the motorist sped in residential neighborhoods, endangering the lives of his near neighbors. In a near-neighbor-centered solution to the problem of indoor residential wood-burning PM2.5 pollution entering the yard of the near neighbor and sickening them, as with the situations of the parent leaving a child in a hot car for hours or a dog owner leaving a dog out in sub-zero conditions for hours, the solution would be to act to protect the health and life of the child or dog first, or protect the health and life of the near neighbor of an indoor residential wood-burner first, without wasting time asking why the parent or dog owner was neglectful nor asking why the indoor residential wood burner burns wood. Then, in counseling, after the indoor residential wood stove has been shut down, the former indoor wood burner can explore why this harm to the near neighbor was done. If a motorist or pedestrian sees a drunk driver preparing to mow them down, the innocent motorist or pedestrian thinks only stop, then later, of course, why? But the struck motorist or pedestrian does not ask why the motorist sped or drove drunk. The struck motorist or pedestrian thinks about the harm done to themselves and asks why the motorist was allowed to speed or continue speeding and asks why the motorist was allowed to drive drunk or continue driving drunk. A car accident victim-centered solution to the problem of car crashes from speeding or from drunk driving is use of radar measurement of car speed by police officers and breathalyzer tests measurement of impairment of driving by alcohol, administered by police officers. Both are scientific measurements that show that probable harm will come to innocent motorists or pedestrians if motorists are allowed to continue to speed or to continue to drive drunk. ROSUP proposed Solution 1, a solution centered on the victim. A near neighbor of an indoor residential wood stove-centered solution to the problem of wood-burning emissions of PM2.5 entering the yard and sickening the near neighbor is a purple air PM2.5 monitor. Resident-owned, costing under $300, and proposed to be bought and handed out to complaining neighbors for free using money from a proposed 2024 Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates, a 501c3 nonprofit organization grant. Purple Air PM2.5 monitors are already used on United States Environmental Protection Agency online maps of smoke and fire, correlated to $100,000 EPA regulatory PM2.5 monitors with a simple mathematical formula, PA times 0.504. Plus 1.8314 ROSUP Solution 2. RAWSC Presidents has already created an Excel template for Purple Air PM2.5 users to correlate the 3-day download of data from their own monitor from the Purple Air map, for use when complaining to the near neighbor's health department or other responsible local governmental authority. The template is called Coast to Coast. That Excel template will be available for download from the ROSUP website shortly, with downloadable instructions on the ROSUP website at https://roscpresidents.com. ROSUP Solution 3. RAWSC Presidents has already created an Excel template for Purple Air PM2.5 users to correlate the 3-day download of data from their own monitor and 20 of their fellow Purple Air users within a municipal area. The template is called City Snapshot, from the Purple Air map, for use when complaining to the near neighbor's health department or other responsible local governmental authority. That Excel template will be available for download from the ROSUP website shortly, with downloadable instructions on the ROSUP website at https://roscpresidents.com. A near neighbor complaining about wood smoke emissions entering their yard does not first consider why the hyperlocalized indoor residential wood burner is burning wood. Just as the near neighbors of a wood-burning power plant do not consider first why the power plant has chosen to burn wood rather than have the plant use the cleaner burning source, the fossil fuels coal or natural gas, or why the power plant has chosen to burn wood rather than the clean and now cheaper power sources of wind, solar and geothermal. The near neighbor of the indoor wood burner simply wants the wood burner to stop, and the near neighbors of a wood-burning power plant simply wants the power plant to stop using the most polluting power source, burning wood. Wood burning emits more PM2.5 and CO2 than coal burning. Wood burning emits 450 times the PM2.5 than natural gas burning. ROSUP Solution 4. Even if the wood burner does not know how to answer the question why he or she burns wood indoor residentially that enters the yards of near neighbors, which sickens the near neighbors and shortens their lives, the current indoor residential wood burners will be offered a rebate for turning in their indoor residential wood stove in exchange for a heat pump that works at temperatures down to 40 degrees below zero, in a proposed 2024 RAWSC President's Grant being written now with the help of Department of Energy, DOE, expert match. This will be in addition to the federal rebate of up to $8,000 in 2024 that will be offered to anyone who buys a heat pump. See Solution 5 below. Burning wood is not a physically addictive activity, as smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol has been scientifically shown to be. The reason why many cigarette smokers and alcohol drinkers find it hard to quit is because they are physically addicted to the practice of both activities that are firstly, harmful to their own health. Secondhand smoke from cigarettes can also cause health problems or deaths, from lung cancer and other illnesses, to fellow employees in the workplace, or any place where there is close proximity to others while cigarette smoking, which is why cigarette smoking is now banned in many workplaces and public spaces. Drunk driving causes car accidents which kill innocent pedestrian bystanders as well as innocent fellow motorists doing their best to drive responsibly. After the cigarette smoking that affects others is shut down, and the drunk driving that affects others is shut down, the luxury of examining why, beside addiction, there is a psychological drive for the cigarette smoker to smoke and the alcohol drinker to drink. There are 12-step programs where the willpower of the former cigarette smoker and the former drinker are strengthened and enhanced by the support of a buddy system and group meetings where others have the same goal of stopping smoking or stopping drinking. This time-intensive solution to addiction is not necessary for the indoor residential wood burner in order for the indoor residential wood burner to stop burning wood. Burning wood is not a physically addictive activity. ROSEP Solution 5, the current indoor residential wood burner, can take advantage of the 2024 United States federal heat pump rebate of up to $8,000 based on a sliding income scale. Information about this federal rebate will be on the RAWSC President's website as soon as terms are announced, in 2024. The advertising of Burnwise, an arm of the indoor residential wood burning industry currently given space on United States government websites, is misleading. The most misleading claim of Burnwise is in the title of their organization. It is never wise to burn wood when cleaner or clean home heating alternatives are available, such as natural gas, as a bridge to the cleaner home heating sources of wind, solar and geothermal power connected to an electric grid that reaches all rural areas, which can be connected to electric heat pumps that work at temperatures down to 40 degrees below zero. Heat pumps are highly efficient and lower electric heating bills immediately. Most rural areas are connected to electricity, which can be used economically for home heating, using heat pumps. If the question of why polluting wood burning is used to heat a home rather than using the now cheaper clean home heating alternatives of wind, solar and geothermal, a clean electric grid extending to rural areas, and heat pumps with generous rebates, the answer to why may be simply advertising. The solution, if there were economic reasons for heating with wood, is that those reasons are a thing of the past. Solutions, rather than problems, can be discussed and implemented in 2023 and 2024 with rebates for heat pumps, rebates from the federal government, as well as the solution of a rebate from residents against wood smoke emission particulates. If not changing to a subsidized heat pump, the solution is still cheaper forms of home heating than wood burning, since wind, solar and geothermal on an electric grid have rapidly become far cheaper for home heating than wood burning. Trinidad and Tobago. Cigarette smoking is physically addicting. Indoor residential wood burning is not physically addicting. Indoor residential wood burners can stop without feeling physical withdrawal symptoms, so indoor residential wood burning cannot have the excuse of addiction, and it is easy for that reason to stop indoor residential wood burning. What follows is a brief article: 1 reason why cigarette smokers smoke and become physically addicted to cigarette smoking and 1 way they can stop. A smoke-free future, local business, TrinidadExpress.com. Trinidad Express. Sheldon Wood understands all too well the challenges faced by smokers, having witnessed his father navigate through them firsthand. And because of that journey, Wood said he discovered his professional purpose in advocating for a smoke-free future. Wood is the general manager of Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean markets for the largest tobacco company in the world, Philip Morris International, PMI. Essentially, I have been in fast-moving consumer goods for pretty much my entire career. I've worked for Coca-Cola. I've worked for Nestle. I've worked for even Carib and Colgate-Palmolive. On a personal level, my dad used to be a cigarette smoker and fortunately he was able to quit, so I know some of the things that are associated with smoking, the bad breath, the smell on clothes, and of course the harmful stuff, because, you know, he had this cough, Wood said. United States. What follows is a story of a single mother who is not physically addicted to indoor residential wood burning. A delusional, single mother thinks wood burning will help her or her child. Anyone who helps a mother and child to begin inhaling toxic wood smoke and helps that mother to impose toxic wood smoke on their near neighbors is creating a problem for near neighbors and for the single mother and child themselves. See above for reasoning that wood stove use is polluting and more expensive than clean alternatives for home heating. United States. Julianne Hough asks for prayers for brother Derek's wife Haley amid hospitalization. YouTube comments 48. Fired up dance fitness. Her incredible smile exudes facing winter. Wood-burning water heater turns a single mother's dream into reality. United Kingdom. The Drax wood-burning plant emits toxic wood smoke and also drains the United Kingdom coffers with huge unearned subsidies. Drax will keep burning a hole in all our pockets. The Times burning wood, or what it calls biomass. The handouts, which have added up to £6 billion in the past 8 years, were scheduled to end in 2027. Gaza. Israel sharply intensifies war in Gaza. 450 Hamas terror targets attacked in Gaza Strip. YouTube. What is PM 2.5? Why masks won't protect you against PM 2.5? Sneha Mordani. India Today New 9:33. India. Biomass, wood, burning, is the culprit in recent pollution events, such as one that closed down an Indian airport last week. Unmasking the culprit. Pollution linked to biomass burning, not Diwali crackers. The Sunday Guardian. Biomass burning, the deliberate ignition of agricultural residues, wood, and other organic materials, has emerged as a significant contributor to air. World Bank launches comprehensive program to combat air pollution crisis in India. ET Auto. Particulate matter, PM 2.5 pollution on its 1.4 billion population. The program includes the introduction of airshed management tools. World Bank launches comprehensive program to combat India's escalating air pollution crisis. MSN billion. The World Bank has initiated a comprehensive program to curb the harmful effects of ambient particulate matter, PM 2.5 pollution. Development Delhi's air quality remains very poor as AQI measured at 314. The Statesman primary pollutants in the city's air on Sunday were the PM 2.5 microparticles, the CPCB said. The worst air quality was recorded in. What is PM 2.5? Why masks won't protect you against PM 2.5? Sneha Mordani. YouTube. Watch this report to know what is PM 2.5 and why masks won't be able to protect you from it. Air pollution news. Sneha Mordani. Hashtag air pollution. Hashtag smog. What is dirty air's far-reaching impact on our health? Watch Sneha Mordani decode this. YouTube. What is PM 2.5? Unraveling the work culture debate. Narayana Murthy vs. other industry leaders. Tech Today. YouTube. What is PM 2.5? Why masks won't protect you against PM 2.5? Sneha Mordani. India Today. Razap View. This facetious article below does not consider that cigarette smoking as well as indoor residential wood burning, which both can be lit by a match or a lighter, are harmful to human health, and in the case of the indoor residential wood burner, not just harmful to the person who lights the match, but harmful to the near neighbors of the indoor residential wood burner. Indoor residential wood burning also emits more PM 2.5 and CO2 than the fossil fuel coal burning. Wood burning also emits 450 times the PM 2.5 than natural gas burning. PM 2.5, particulates of 2.5 micrometer size, are the perfect size to infiltrate the human lung, setting off a cascade of human health problems and early deaths. PM 2.5 also hastens climate change, affecting the entire world. Life cycle assessment. Which is better for the environment, a match or a lighter? In New York smoke a lot. German citizens smoked almost 66 billion cigarettes in 2022. And quite a few people seek comfort and warmth from the wood burning.